Marie Enns first went to Cambodia with her husband and 2 children in 1961. Later, 2 more children were added to the family who lived in Cambodia for many years until the takeover by the Khmer Rouge forced them to return to Canada. Marie returned to Cambodia as a widow in 1994. Is the founder and an advisor to Rescue. She is also Ma Ye, grandma, at Place of Rescue, the Orphanage and AIDS Hospice where she lives just outside of the capital city of Phnom Penh. And it's so good that she has family here in Canada, which keeps her coming back. At least it's a big reason that you come back about once a year, Marie?
Yeah, usually twice a year. I come back once to do a tour, and often another time for a wedding or as my grandkids are growing up.
And tell us where you were last night.
Oh, I went to Paul Brandt concert in Guelph. It was great. It was a good time. He's become a very good friend.
So I hear.
Yeah.
He's been over there and been involved in the ministry?
Yeah, he came. He's come twice.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
You have such a story.
Yeah.
Called to missions at the age of 8. You know, we use terms like that, and sometimes we just kind of graze over them. I'm sure there are some people who wonder, well, how did you know that? Like, how does that hit when you're 8 so that you know it?
It's kind of hard to describe because it's inside, but I just never, all my life, I never wanted to be anything else but a missionary. You know, you ask a little kid, what are you going to do when you grow up? Huh? I never wanted to be anything but a missionary. And I think when I really analyze it, my mother dedicated me to the Lord when I was just, basically as soon as she knew she was pregnant, and said this, I was the 7th of 7 children,
the youngest,
and a really poor family. And she said, Lord, let this one be in the ministry. And then she never told me until I was preparing to go overseas. And she said, you know what, I gave you to Jesus to be in his service before you were born.
How lovely.
It is.
So there was
it
no
so
pressure
much
on
to
you
me.
at all?
No, never.
That is a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
Where did you grow up?
I was born in Rostern, and we lived in Rostern until I was about 7, and then we moved to Prince Albert.
And,
so,
and
yeah,
you were
I'm
saying
a
that is
girl.
a Mennonite community as well?
Prince Albert, not so much, but Rostern for sure, yeah.
Russian Mennonite background. It's all just interesting, lovely, lovely fabric.
Yeah.
Now, you met Norm in 1952?
Yeah, in Bible school, 53 actually, but yeah, in Bible school.
Canadian Bible College,
yeah, that's
Regina.
right. Yeah.
And he must have had missions on his heart too.
Yes, he was very spiritual as a child. They used to play church, only they weren't playing. They used to do children's meetings all by themselves as a group of kids when they were little. So, yeah.
That's quite something to, you were pastoring first.
For about 3 years in Looseland, Saskatchewan. First Harts Hill, which was just a little tiny little place, and then Looseland for our home service before we went to the mission field. Yeah.
I know all these names.
Yeah.
Great to hear them.
Yeah.
Did you pick Cambodia, or was it chosen
No,
for
we
you?
didn't actually. We knew we wanted to be missionaries. We knew that's where we were supposed to be headed, but we didn't necessarily know which country. So we applied open, and with the Christian Missionary Alliance, and you know, they do some psychological testing and stuff. So they thought Cambodia would be the best place for us.
Great, and you went.
And it absolutely was.
Well, as we can see, we can't keep you away from it.
Exactly.
2 small children when you went over?
Yes, on a ship. We took 7 weeks to get there on a ship, and we had a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old, David and Shelley, at the time. We put those little harnesses on them, you know, that they used to use with kids, because we were afraid they'd fall overboard.
I had one brother who was in one all the time, occasionally tied to the clothesline with the harness. You had a wonderful experience there until the Khmer Rouge messed things up, 1975.
Yeah, we left 6 weeks before they took over.
And you would end up in France. I know you came home for a while.
Yeah, we came home and started the Christian Missionary Alliance Church in Rostern, which was kind of fitting to circle back. And we only were there 2 years, and then went to France. Yeah.
And there were lots of Cambodians in France.
Yes, France, you know, it used to be part of French Indochina, and so they actually received at that time 80,000, which of course immediately began to multiply.
Marvelous, and pastoring there.
Yeah.
And then a devastation.
Yeah, Norm went to be with Jesus in 1991 at the age of 56. We were actually visiting my daughter Shelley and her husband Blaine and their family in Ivory Coast when it happened. He had a heart attack and went instantly into the Lord's presence.
Mm. So young.
Yeah,
56.
I was young.
Where did that leave you, Marie?
Well, it kind of, early on, before I even thought I should be hearing things like this from the Lord, I understood that my missionary call preceded my relationship with Norm and that it wasn't over. And I'm so grateful for that assurance right away that I would not just stay at home or do nothing. So first I went back to France a little bit, but I really couldn't find my niche there. It was just, I was pastor's wife and it just didn't work. So I came back to Canada, and then I am so grateful. I will be forever grateful to Wally Albrecht, who was the missions guy at the CMN, Christian Missionary Alliance at that time, for trusting a 60-year-old widow to go back to Cambodia. And he facilitated that, and I was able to go back in '94. So,
now, we come into yet another bump in the road. 2000, at the age of 66, you were invited to retire.
Yes.
How did that sit with you, Marie?
Well, in the beginning, honestly, I had all the wrong reactions. I am so sorry that I had all the wrong reactions. I was angry, I was hurt, I was disappointed, I was just everything. But I didn't see that it was just a bend in the road, and I wish I would have understood it then better than I do now.
Well, this is a classic story of when God closes a door, He opens a window.
Oh no, He knocks the wall down.
Okay. You know what, I agree with you, 100%.
Oh,